I'm going to make a quick video on how I sharpen my hand planes and my chisels. And I've used a couple of different setups, one of them being a stone that you clamp into a sled and you run the blade across there, and I've used some other stuff and just freehanded it. But I came across this honing guide made by Veritas. It's Canadian made, and it works great. It's fast, it's easy, and I'll show you how I needed to sharpen my hand plane, so my block plane, so I figured I'd turn the camera on. So I sharpen everything. Well, I sharpen my plane blades and chisels at a 25 degree angle. So what you do is you set this part of it to 25 degrees. There's anywhere from 10 to 40 it looks like. And this plane blade is 1 3/8 wide. So you set this on here, and there's a scale on it, 1 inch, 2 inch. So, and there's a little mark on here. So you set it to the right width. And here's some screws here, some thumb screws that clamp it down. And you put your blade in until it comes to that stop. It would be the same thing with a chisel, except you would just adjust this to the width of the chisel. So you put this in here, and this squares it up. Then you tighten these evenly. Now you can take this guide off. You just back off that thumb screw. So there, it's in there, and you're ready to sharpen. One thing, there's a knob on the side with a little tick mark on it. It's set up. So right now it's set for 25 degrees. And when that knob is up, it'll sharpen what's called the primary bevel, which is the main body of the main bevel. And then I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but on the very edge, it's what's called the micro bevel, and that's like 1 or 2 degrees off the primary bevel. So first I'll set it on the primary bevel, and then what I do is I just take, this is 400 grit sandpaper, and the whole key to this is to get this primary bevel set on your chisels and your plane blades. And it might take a little bit of work at first, and you might need some rougher sandpaper to get it down. But once you get it down to that primary bevel, to touch it up, it doesn't take any time at all. So I got some 400 grit here, and there's like a brass roller on the bottom, and everything's clamped in and set. And you just put it on a flat surface. I just use the table on my bandsaw. You could use a surface plate or something like that, but this is good enough for me. So you just run this on some sand. And the cool thing about sandpaper, it's bigger, and you just throw it out when it gets dull. On those stones, they're kind of small to work with, and I just like the sandpaper better. I always have it around the shop. So you just hit it a few times, and look at how, boom, the primary bevel is already there. And then what you do is you take this knob, this tick mark, and it's like an eccentric cam, and you put it down, and what that does is it lifts it up. It lifts the back end up just a little bit, like 1 or 2 degrees off, and then that's when you're going to hit the very tip and give it that micro bevel. And that doesn't take much either. You know, maybe 8 or 10 swipes. And that's it. It's already there. So it's very fast and easy. Once like I said, once the primary bevel is set, it goes real quick. And then I'll just put it back in the body of the hand plane where it was. And we'll try her out. And I think 400 to 600 grit, that's good enough. Some guys will use, I hear them, they use like 3,000 grit. For as much as I use this, it seems plenty sharp for me. So that's a quick, easy way to sharpen a hand plane blade or a chisel. All right.